この番組はご覧のスポンサーの提供でお送りします。Alrighty, welcome everyone. I'm Teeaboo and I am here to speedrun this intro because we are about to watch episode 1, at least, of season 2 of Jujutsu Kaisen, and that means we are heading into a world where Gojo Cinema is back on the menu, baby, and I cannot tell you how excited I am for that. A full season of Gojo on a top-tier production that has been talked about and blathered about by everyone, people I trust and those that I don't. They've all come to pretty similar conclusions that this shit rocks. So, I'm ready to go. That's it. That's the whole intro. I gotta do a drawing because it's an obligation that I set upon myself, and I like to fulfill those when I possibly can. So, I'm gonna do that, and then we'll be back in just a smidge for actually watching the episode. We are going to be watching the Blu-ray versions, thanks to all the bajillion people who commented about that. Yes, I'm gonna watch the Blu-ray versions. All set. Drawing time. My heart is made of iron, my strength I find within, and I will never bow down, no. I don't care what you think. Yeah, you could do anything, anything. Yeah, anything you want with me, honestly. Okay. I know what this is going to be. I don't know how I'm going to accomplish it. So, I guess the way to start is to start. Okay, and then the other way. Okay, and now here's the tough part. Like, I don't actually know how I'm gonna accomplish this. Okay, and then the other way. I'll take this a little further out. God, that's weird. I expected it would be weird. Like, could you stop that camera, please? So I was kind of thinking of Gojo's balls. His energy balls. You know. So I was just dreaming about Gojo's balls. The blue orb and the red orb and stuff. And first of all, I was like, well, how the hell am I supposed to make anything even close to that manifest in black and white with graphite? Wild. But then I was thinking, like, well, maybe it's like a yin-yang. One of them is dark and one of them is light, and one of them is the light and the darkness, the other one's the darkness and the light. That seemed like fun. I was like, well, maybe they're eyes. Maybe they're ojos in a big old face, but I didn't really end up drawing that, so I'm just gonna scribble some things in that make that sort of appear in your brain a little bit, even though they're not really there, which should really be fucky. Oh yeah, there it goes. There it goes. Maybe that doesn't work for you, but that sure works for me. Just like, it's like instant. I can just put these couple of lines in, and they kind of blend in with all the other lines, but then at the same time I look at it and my brain goes, eyes! Wild. Humans are weird. Eyes are weird. But then I was thinking sort of yin-yang-y, like, this one is drawing in darkness from a field of light, and this one's sort of drawing in light from a field of darkness? I don't know. Maybe I need to use the eraser if I want to make this work. Well, that didn't work at all. I made things worse. Oh, that does change things. Honestly, oh, this was a fun, like, fuck around page that I did the other day just for fun. It's like paneling out some weird baseball stuff. Oh, actually, this is kind of fun because this is probably, in a weird sense, just for posterity's sake, this is probably the first thing that I've ever intentionally tried to, like, animate or put frame by frame. You know, it's a guy running from up top with a baseball cap on, running after a ball. But that's probably the first time that I've done something like that, so I just wanted to note it. Might lead in interesting directions, who knows? Who knows? Teeaboo, the 30-year-old webgen animator? Yeah, I don't think so. I don't think so, guys. It's probably not my path. But it is fun. Really fun. Oh yeah, that sort of streaks it a little bit. That's what I want. That's what I'm talking about. That's more fun. I have no fucking idea. I don't know whether my favorites of the things that I draw are the, like, more abstract, fucking weird symbolic things that don't make any sense and usually come from a place of not knowing what I'm trying to draw, or the times when I, like, successfully manage to imitate or otherwise capture something specific. Both are really fulfilling. I think, just for me, the creative exploratory endeavor of drawing things and not knowing where I'm going with it and allowing my brain to kind of just come up with whatever it comes up with ends up being a little bit more fun, but both are really enjoyable. I find drawing really fulfilling. It's super interesting. And given that I still think I absolutely suck balls, donkey balls at actually doing it, at managing to manifest what I think onto the page or what I see or whatnot. But the improvements that I've made over the past year or so that I've been drawing have been dramatic, and really cool, and I really like emotionally and psychologically enjoy it. It's very fulfilling. All right, that's got nothing to do with anything and totally goes against my attempt to speedrun this intro because I ended up getting stuck and blathering a little bit. So I'm going to shut the fuck up and watch Gojo Cinema. We're going to watch episodes 1 and potentially 2 of Season 2 of Jujutsu Kaisen. I've got the Blu-ray Remux, which a member of my Discord has very, very helpfully muxed with the Kaizoku subtitles, which are the same ones that we were using for most of the last season. So, should be good. I'm just going to soak this in. I don't know if I'll be able to come out with coherent thoughts about what we witness here. I don't know if it's going to be obvious right off the bat that we're dealing with a different set of creative impulses and, like, intent. It was from the outset of the first moments of episode 17 when we saw that little bit of a switch in the animation director department. It was, like, palpable and obvious. I do wonder how much of that is confirmation bias, because I went in knowing that it was going to be different, and so I was already on the lookout for things that would be different. And the same is going to be true here. Am I going to feel like there's a different feel here? Almost certainly. Will I be able to point out where it comes from, why it is occurring, what pieces are being put together? I don't know. That's a way bigger challenge, like a hugely way bigger challenge. Even when it's something that's dramatic and obvious, like you watch a Scorsese film, you watch a Tarantino film, and then tell me what's different about those two directors. You might be able to pick out a couple of very obvious things, but like getting into the nitty gritty of how they like to time their shots and how they interact and work with their cinematographer and their camera guys, and like how they direct their actors, and it ends up being like a magic jumble where you come away just going, that was different from that. And actually trying to investigate why and how those differences came to be, way harder problem. Way more interesting problem. Differentiating artistic subtleties in an individual who isn't even necessarily the artist drawing the thing, but is instead like a force in the background, like a leader or a general. It's actually a good way of putting it is like looking at the operations of a war front, a whole bunch of different facilities and peoples and stuff all going in different directions, and trying to go like, yeah, that's Patton. That right there, that's MacArthur. Like, good luck. Good luck. Might be able to pick out some things, but it's a wild thing to do. So that's our wild challenge, is to figure out what the hell makes Gojo so special. And more importantly, let's be clear. This is not an analysis channel. This is not a discussion channel. This is a dude watches anime and has fun with it channel. And I think it's really important to mention that, because we lose sight of that because of how much time I do spend focusing on analysis and discussion and things like that. The reason I focus on those is because I fucking enjoy them, is because I find it cool. I find it really interesting. I like investigating artistry. I like understanding where it comes from. I like watching these creators grow over time. I like finding out about the history of where things come from. It's why there are still two, by modern standards, ancient shows taking up valuable show slot real estate on my channel. Because I fucking love it and I think it's really cool. So let's not lose sight of the goal, which is to enjoy this wonderful medium for the trappings or the aesthetics of doing analysis on the internet. It's not really what we're here for. We're here for it insofar as it improves our experience and makes it more fun and allows us to create a grander and deeper connection with the work and to have more of an emotional tie to the people who created it and to understand the purpose of it and where it came from and all of those things. Never should it be at the expense of the enjoyment of the thing. So my first priority when watching these episodes and watching this next season of Jujutsu Kaisen is to enjoy the fuck out of it. Further down on the list is to nitpick out all the details of like what makes it cool. I'm happy coming out of this just going, that was fucking cool. See you next week. Bye. Will I? No, because my way of enjoying these things is to go back and look at them and be like, what the fuck? How did that even... So, I guess we had a bit of a spiel at the beginning of season 1 about the sort of purpose of engaging with work in this kind of way. And this is a different type of spiel here, and one that I just wanted to say, because we're here to have fun. We're here to experience something together using this magical media that we have, the internet, that allows us to, across space and time, experience this other piece of media that's locked in forever and exists in its present state forever. And I'm trying to make a recording, a log of how I felt about it and what it did to me, and to enable others for forever, if possible, to sit with me and watch this show. It's a really weird thing that we do, to sit not together across screens from each other and engage in something together. It's a very new form of communication that didn't exist a few years ago, and I think it's deeply cool. I think it's deeply cool, and I'm really glad that I get to do it with y'all. So, I'm getting all choked up. So, speedrun failed, all red splits, bad time, doesn't matter. We're here to enjoy the game, right? I've got episode 1 of Jujutsu Kaisen season 2 up and ready to go. I'm currently staring at a floor, and there are some shadows on it, and that's all I've got. It's not much, but it's an honest living. Yeah, I've got no further ado for you. Let's go ahead and watch Jujutsu Season 2. I've got episode 1 up and ready to go. Kaizoku subs, JPBD, Mux, 2 versions, picture-in-picture, in the description, timer on YouTube, BB timer to count you down, early access on the Patreon. Thank you so much to all the people who are supporting me on the Patreon. I, literally couldn't do this without you. So, thank you immensely. It means the world, truly. Let's watch. Beep beep timer. That's very high fidelity. Whose voice is this? Oh. Familiar. Very, very, very focused color palette. Exercise, consume over and over. We are not that different. Ugh. Oh, this is young ghetto. So we're explaining the question that I had, which is, who the fuck is Ghetto and how did he change so dramatically? Okay, this is the standoff moment. Whoa! Whoa, found footage! God, this is horrifying. Oh! Oh wow, those establishing shots are really fun. A way bigger scale than we've literally ever gotten throughout Jujutsu Season 1. Yao? Maybe. Who are you? We've met one of them. We've met her, right? Is that Mei Mei? With a new haircut? Spooky mansion on top of a hill? Look at that background. That's fucking sick. Was there no music up until now? Yeah? Backgrounds. Oh, it is! Just a different hairstyle. I wonder if this is present or past. No, they were talking about like a lot of curses over the sun. No, I don't know. I don't know, actually. I don't need that, but I guess you do. She sees through birds, right? That was the impression that I got. Maybe not. I don't know what Mei's powers are. Okay, that's fun. Have you noticed there have been like 5 extremely high quality CG background shots? Put that on the list of Gosoisms for sure. Oh, that is Utahime. Spoopy. Ooh, bloody. Again. Again and again. And again. Ah! Ah! Ooh. Don't let your fuck. As soon as you let your guard down. Oh. All the clothes all folded up, like ready to go on a trip? Ooh. Man, look from further back. Get further back. Don't get that close. Oh, it's rats. It's behind you. What? What? Did you see that? What was that? Truly, I would watch you as the center in a horror movie. Oh. We're in an odd space. Ho! We loopin'. Oh! Cool. Yeah. Out of tune violins. Really subtle use of music all the way through. Oh, that's what I was thinking. Okay. Okay. And this? This is really cool that we're holding the same space and they're just walking past it again and again. Is Mei Utahime's sensei? I'm not sure. Bold of you to touch them. Terrified. That's a scary thing for her to say. So it's different. So it's not really coherent or keeping up effectively. That was really fun. Oh! What is that? What the fuck is that? What is behind you? Oh, it's just the shape of the place. I saw the lamp and it looked like a giant eye or something. I was thinking like back, go other sides. But then we're gonna be split up. Then we have to fight the thing separately. Let's stick together. No. Better be ready to pay for it. Cash rules everything around me. Around May. Did May even start moving? Whoa! Well, that was fucking dope. I wonder who drew that. Motherfucker. Okay, new OP. Gojo centric. The hallway. Hidden inventory, premature death. I've heard the term hidden inventory yet. I think it's an arc. Who dat? I'm in love. I saw her for half a second. That was Geto. Okay. I don't know what time and place we're in. We must be in the past, right? Because we've got younger Geto. Oh, I've seen that guy as photoshopped into a girl's Tinder profile. I don't know who he is, but I have seen that guy. Boy got a big fucking dragon. I've seen Zero Yuji. So are we full chopped back to a prequel section? Okay. I mean, I'm fine with that. Gojo's been the protagonist the whole time, so seems reasonable. Second grade. I didn't see his grade. Ow. Geto is here. Holy shit. What the fuck? Okay, so we're back well back in time. Alright. Shoko! Yay. Wait, I've heard that. So they both suck, huh? How about one that turns you into a chibi? What the fuck was that? You too? You gotta get paid. Hmm. So he's not the principal yet. Maybe he is. I don't know. There's so much we don't know. Yeah. Guidance. Thanks, Yeti. Okay, this is absurd. This is absurd. They're just having fun. Ah! Okay. Same lines. Slightly different. I hate righteousness. And there's our response finally. Oh shit. So they've always been on edge, but as friends. They both immediately cut it out. Stupid. Motherfuckers. They really are cut from the same cloth. You can see how they'd end up totally diametrically opposed. Tengen-sama? Oh, that's the pretty girl who I fell in love with the moment that I saw her. She's a vessel for Star something? Star Platinum? Star Platinum? Ah. Oh my god, there's just so much to over, like, Hmm. Hmm? Hmm. Mm-hmm. Oh. All the stuff that he maintains, that's right. Huh. Ugh. Is he falling asleep? No. I don't know what that was. I'm gonna guess it was Digimon. I don't know. I like his newer haircut better. Holy shit, Windows. Whoa. This has a dramatically different tone. Oh. What was that? These are fucking dorks. You guys are dorks. He didn't crush that. That was nuts. Their flippantness with their power is really interesting. He has become more polite and humble in a lot of ways. Yeah. Which is amazing to say because he's still not great. Huh? Huh? Nice. Yeah. Oh. What? Oh. Dude, his multi-curse use abilities are insane! A Q soldier? She gorgeous. Wow, that's so fucking sick looking! I see what people are talking about with the jazz backing tracks. I'm fine with it so far. Hmm. Yeah, you have no shot. Bayer Pharmaceuticals. So we play with taps. Okay. That's reasonable. I would take that. Ooh, there he is. Zanin. Is that Papa? Is that Trump Card Daddy? Ew. I don't like him. Is that the end of the episode? Oh, it is. That was a lot to incorporate, guys. Black white fish is going opposite directions. Man, best friends indeed. There's a deep tragedy here. Split, 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 split. There's a deep tragedy here. Whoa. Is that our new version of a Sampo? It's just a little speech over the top. I dig it. I think that's cool. This is wild. This is wild. I'm absolutely in that state of like, oh shit, I have no idea what's going on. I have no idea what's going on and no idea how I'm gonna talk about it. Yay. There are so many styles blended together here. And such a fluid shift between them. I think first thing that we have to note is that there's a real subtlety in the use of music overall. And not a lot of bombast. Season 1 is marked musically, I think, by a lot of sort of rock out big sound for equivalent moments to make them land, and we get almost none of that here. We choose this jazz style thing that increases in tempo as it's going, but it doesn't really increase in like longitude, volume, size, scale, sweeping wall of sound type of thing. It doesn't really change in that way, so it doesn't give us that same sort of emotional cue, which is really interesting and might not work. Genuinely might not work. There's a reason that films are scored with these big sweeping emotional sweeps, because they make a different thing happen. That said, the use of like screechy off-key violin bits and stuff for making horror moments work, and using that sort of, I mean, jazz, when you've got all those drums going, is a little bit, it's almost like drum and bass in that you've got this like that pulls you in and gets the momentum going, but it's a very different emotional experience than burnout, like big guitars, big drum kit, like classic band music type of stuff, versus big symphonic stuff or proggy whatever, right? So dramatic difference there. Dramatic difference in like way of seeing the universe, way of seeing reality. Right from the outset, where we've got this deep commitment, I would say, to grayscale. that only flashes through in a couple of little spot-colored ways up until the moment when Geto walks through here and we're in full grayscale. And then we start our first, like, really high-quality CG moments, which are going to be marked throughout the episode. Deeply reminiscent of the Chainsaw Man moments where he's walking down a similar dark alleyway, but the tone of the scene is dramatically different. Exercise, consume over and over. A loop. A disgusting loop that is Geto's. The taste of a curse. We start here in his mind, with his ability and how it feels to him to consume a curse. Disgusting. What I witnessed was nothing out of the ordinary. Is he talking about in that particular moment? Or in general? I think in that particular moment. I still chose to be a sorcerer who saves others. And it is very much unclear what we're looking at here as he leads 2 children away. Who are these kids? Unknown. A white and a black cloak. Sandals too big for them. Unknown. I still chose to be a sorcerer who saves others. That's what I've been telling myself ever since that day. So we set this moment up, and it should be familiar to us from Zero. This is the moment of split between them, now in color, now different, ever since that day. We cut away from it, and we're elsewhere. Interesting. Not enough here. But what a tragedy we've established. We still have the same question. What changed between these two? What changed with Geto in particular? We don't have a way to answer it. It doesn't seem to make sense. His motives and stated opinions and beliefs and actions are dramatically different from who he is now. Ever since that day. I think that the old school, like, home video camera with this faux interlacing going is really cool. Like, this interlace effect is amazing. It is what shitty home video looks like. Every other frame, or even every frame, just fully interlaced like this with the sections split up. It really feels good and cool. It's very hard, I think, to make animation look like film specifically. And that we're able to do it makes me think of a couple other creative directors that I think are capable of similar stylistic stuff. This is wild to say. This is a wild thing to say. Reminds me of Kon. Satoshi Kon, more than anybody. I'm looking at a Satoshi Kon Mad right now, which of course is a wide variety of actual animators, but there's a lot that really feels familiar. That's so weird. Or like, okay, so that's so weird. Feel me? The muted palette, the emphasis on background character detail, and background movement. You know, I mean, in Kon's films, these are all pre-CG essentially, but still similar use of these digital landscapes to create motion experience. I can't help feeling like that might be the best comparison that I have at my disposal at present, which again is a wild thing to say. I loved this sequence of establishing shots. I gotta watch it again. Okay, so they're all timed identically. It's bam, 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 bam. From broad landscapes to individual buildings to... It just cuts a swath through society, apartment complexes, skyscrapers, mountains. Maybe Fuji? I'm not actually sure. It does have a caldera. The bay, like, boom, 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 boom. Whoa. Meimei is stacked. And we find out that we are back in time. I wonder why we've done it that way. The way that this, I mean, how, just this, that the child steps in steps and has a gate to it. Him. The walk. What the fuck? CG top tier. This is an expectation. Gojo's ability to blend new tools with, like, talented animators and make it all work really makes Gojo stand out from the crowd. Modern blend. This is such a cool shot. What a crazy thing up on a crazy hill with a crazy background. I like it. I like it. I like this location. I love the space. Something about this wide. I don't know why I just ended up staring at that for like 30 seconds, but I find it really interesting. Angle choice throughout this space is fascinating. And then moments when we jump into full-on one super sloopy, slidey, what am I doing? AB loops. I don't want that. Super slidey gloriousness. Like, buttery smooth. Really impressive to the eye. Really interesting. It generates so much intrigue about the space, as though we're experiencing it with them and witnessing these locations. I really feel pulled along with these characters into this location. It's great horror direction. And I'll say something that I say relatively often, which is that horror direction is the foundation of good cinematography, of good direction. This is something that I picked up from my primary film studies teacher, who I did take a Japanese horror film class with, and his impression or his understanding was that horror is the best place to get started if you want to become an adequate or competent director, because the emotional manipulation that goes into making people scared is the same concept that goes into everything else, and it's maybe the most like root primal core, and if you can nail that, you can nail almost anything. Gojo can nail that, I really think. This is spooky in its own fun way, and then it undercuts that and cuts it all out as we burst into all these different right? So it's got this sense of spooky and timing and fear, and also a sense of when to cut that out and dispel it and dismiss it all, bring it back into something more normal. All this focus, the slow moving background, the subtlety of her motion as she gets closer and closer to looking under the bed is big classic horror movie reveal stuff. Focused in really hard on her, not on what she can see. Focused in really hard on where the monster might be, and not on where it actually is, and seeing it, potentially, right? There doesn't need to be anything under the bed. That's not what's scary about the scene. The scene is scary because we think there might be. And we hold and withhold until we show what it's really all about. And then we have this! All fuzzy. Kind of, almost taking a cue from the interlaced video before. Doing our own style of fuzzy interlacing. And then through the wall. Just utterly clever. So that's totally new. Check this shit out. So Mei touches her. Hold 1 2 fuzzy fuzzy. I've never in my life seen anything like this in animation. Never ever. We hold, we're almost shadowless, right? Almost full flat Kaganashi style shadows. But we fuzz, 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 next. Still fuzzy. Unfuzz, unfuzz, next. Unfuzz, unfuzz. So instead of holding these interframes, we blur things as they move. Instead of smearing them on the movement, they blur in between. Oh boy, we're gonna have to keep an eye out for that, because that is a wild new technique that I have genuinely never seen anything quite like. We discover that the whole thing is a trick. I want to see the whippity whip 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 sort of scene. That seemed like fun. I love this shot of just holding on this one window and then they're walking by and expositing to us. Super fun. This. Whip, 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 whip. Damn, that's precise. Damn, that's precise. Yeah, just this shot from behind just looks like a giant eye looming over her. Maybe a giant samurai guy. I thought we were about to turn around, there was going to be a giant metallic curse. Nope. She does not run, does she? Maybe does not move. It's unclear. But then everything warps. Simple. Not simple. Alright, who's responsible for this? Who the fuck? So there's a person that I think of when I see this shot, and it's because of a particular shot that they did in a fucking Pretty Cure All-Stars movie that blows my mind every time, so I'm gonna have to go and find that. No, I'm not. No, I'm not. I just want to... I'm gonna have to look at all these on Sakaburu. I don't have time. I don't have time to enjoy this to the fullest. This location, and scene reminds me dramatically of Robot Bed. Rojin Z? Yep, Rojin Z, which is about a robot bed. The end scenes of that are in a similar, like, chaotic, destroyed, dilapidated environment. We introduce a boy. Here he is, here to save your ass. So we're well back in time, far pre any of our previous story. I guess this is the main story, huh? Cool, I'm here for it. We're gonna watch the OP again next time, so I'm gonna catch more of it next time. I'm just actually gonna skip it through this first watch. Maybe we'll talk it through in the next one. We know Ieri, right? Oh, she's the doctor. With long hair. That's it. That's what makes it. That makes sense. We've got a great ability to go full goof. Full, like, chibi hilarity goof. Or full serious. And even transition between them in the most ridiculous of ways. So they fucked something up with a barrier. It matters. I think every scene of exposition is made to be as fun as possible. As engaging as it could be. The ideal form of society is survival of the weakest. Help the weak, keep the strong in check. Sorcerers exist to protect non-sorcerers. The same ideas that we had presented in Zero with slightly different nuance. Look at you, acting all righteous. I hate that stuff. Slightly different from I hate righteousness. And then he actually goes a little bit further and expresses it. Assigning responsibilities to the strong in the name of some cause is what weak people do. Whoa. Really interesting here. And then he uses strength. You know, before he was playing, now he uses strength. Nails the basket. And Geto is just upset about it. Gojo calls it feel-good bullshit. Bleh. It's not legit. So they're willing to fight about it. Fight. Feeling lonely, go by yourself. But then they drop the act immediately when authority arrives. So neither of them is too big for their position, their place, but both of them have big ideas. Very different ideas. The strong have a duty to protect. And he says, that's feel-good bullshit. The strong will do what they want. So far in Season 1, that has led to him doing what will lead to protection, but because he wants to. It kind of feels like, I'm not doing it because you told me to, I'm doing it because I want to. Like, I'm not beholden to some larger moral framework. I'm an individual actor who doesn't care about such things. Which is really interesting. It's very, very odd, because I just spent some time on Wednesday this week talking about Nietzsche's genealogy of morals, where he expresses this sort of a weak style morality, or what he would call slave morality, that leads into and feeds into the Judeo-Christian morality, the idea that the strong do have some need to protect the weak, some duty to do so, or the corollary idea that weakness is strength, that the meek shall inherit the earth, etc. All of those being ideas that Nietzsche disagrees with pretty heavily, I would say, at least from my understanding. Feel free to correct me. I'm no scholar on that topic, or I guess I should say I'm no effective scholar. I guess I am a scholar on that topic because I've read the shit, but that doesn't mean that I know what I've read. This is very interesting. Gojo presents this. Well, I really wonder. I wonder if Gege. I prefer Gigi by the by. Apparently it's entirely wrong, but Gege. I wonder if Gege is familiar with familiar with the philosophy that he's wrangling. Because I think you could very easily, if you want to, color Geto as the last man, and Gojo as an overman, or Ubermensch. By the by, just because it's important to note, I think, don't use Nietzsche's philosophy to justify genocide. It's bad. Nazism wrong. Simple. The idea of transcending imposed moralities and becoming a strong man who chooses on your own is represented by Gojo here in some way. And Geto, despite his power, is bound by this expectation about what society should be, the duties inherent to it. Gojo dispenses with that, but Geto doesn't. But he doesn't give any real solid justification for why he thinks it should be a certain way, and neither does Gojo give a justification for why he thinks those righteous things are wrong. He seems to dislike them as a broad swath, like, I don't like any of these broad statements about what should be, but I don't really know. I'm really interested in this aspect, and I hope that we dive much deeper into it, because it's right at the center, pivotal core of what led these two characters to explode outward in opposite directions. Fucking interesting. Okay. I wonder. And then sends them on a mission together. You are assigned specifically a mission involving Tengen-sama. She is pretty. She is pretty. And erase her. You are to escort her and erase her. So are we trying not to bring her to Tengen-sama? The idea of the technique is really fascinating. If you reach that state of being, you have no will, and everything would fall apart. So we reset it every few hundred years. Trapped in a box, in a box, in a box. There's a lot of fun cinematography that doesn't mean anything. That's one thing that I'll say. There's a lot of fun cinematography that doesn't fucking mean anything. Which is maybe something to watch out for. Really excellent film has way too much, like a lot of meaning in it. but it also knows when to dial shit back and just show you what it's showing you, and not try to be too over the top or symbolic or even geometric or patterned or stylistic, because those stylistic things, the geometries, the patterns, the walls, the bars, the shapes and forms of everything, those give us emotional experience. Those give us impressions and feelings. Now, maybe there's purpose to this. Maybe these bars are meant to feel like we're caged, meant to feel like the whole of the Jujutsu world is trapped by Tengen-sama. And maybe that is what we're going for here. Certainly that's what this reads as, is box within a box within a box. It's reminiscent of a lot of shots in Japanese film for like 80 years, through to Tokyo Story, where there's lots of rectangular framing, tons of it, just tons of square framing on everything, and it has meaning like this. But I don't know if any of this means anything. It's just visual fluff to make witnessing the exposition scenes enjoyable. And I just complimented the show on making all the exposition scenes look enjoyable. I think it's still cool, and I'm still really into it. But there is a worry that I have, which is like, if you keep the fidelity of everything at maximum volume, there's no variation, right? And then your big moments don't feel big. I don't think that's been a problem so far. I don't have trouble feeling like those moments when we get really, really sort of jiggy with it. I don't know why I said that. When we get wild with it and things start to really move, they stand out anyway. So I think my gripe is meaningless. I should shut up. What the fuck is this Ministry of Silly Walks bullshit? It looks like it's straight out of Redline. It's hilarious. I really like it. We are the strongest, after all. And there are two interesting groups in play. Boom! And Falling Girl. So how did she survive? I don't know. But this is where we sort of kick in. The reflection is sick. The movement momentum is sick. But it's this when he starts moving. Oh, okay. So we're moving half and half on ones of the background portion. And then having him move on twos, mostly. This sort of muted color palette that's really kind of everywhere. It's really kind of everywhere except on Gojo and except when shit kicks into gear and you need it to be sparkly or interesting. Allows us a lot of range. Kind of the exact opposite of having everything really high fidelity and then you're not sure when the important moments happen. Having everything be really muted in color means that when you bring sparkles into everything, it shines. It's brilliant and sparkly. Sort of the opposite problem that like Mahou Shoujo shows have, where they're all sparkly all the time. And then when shit gets really into gear sparkly, it doesn't mean anything or have any impact on you. This does the opposite. Muted and low down in tone, leading to big explosions of awesomeness and cool fucking CG. Gege likes JoJo's, right? Gege is familiar with the JoJo's, yes? Because this is ridiculous. And this is straight out of JoJo's. Like, that scene is 100% feels like David Productions. Okay, overall take on the episode. I really like it. It's definitely different. Dramatically different from season 1 in a whole lot of ways. From background and style to like really, really emphatic use of CG all throughout to make these fluid movement sequences, to, I don't know, like a filmic lens, an eye for expressing things in an artistic sort of way. But there are some worries with that. I don't know if it's going to be coherent, or as crisp and clear and readable, if you will. It definitely, there is some muddling that happens in bringing everything up to this level. But at the same time, I find it extremely enjoyable. I really enjoy looking at people try to do creative things in a creative medium. It's a real sad situation that a lot of work in a creative medium that offers so much opportunity for expression, like animation. A lot of work in animation is like bog standard, exactly the same all the time, and that sucks. And what the industry really needs is the willingness to step outside of itself and create things in interesting ways. And the fact that we're getting that on a big ticket shonen, and it is so weird and probably off-putting to some people. I imagine that there's a fair swath of people who don't feel like they get JJK Season 2, who it just doesn't work for. And I'll bet that there's also a fair swath of people who don't feel like they get it and then say that they get it because they feel like if they don't say that they get it, other people are going to think that they're stupid. But I don't think that this is a matter of stupidity. I think this is a very different set of film words. Like, the language that's on display here is not English in some real way. It's not simple. It does a really good job of conveying and expressing most of what it's getting at, I think. And it does a really good job of manipulating emotions in a really effective way, I think. But it is weird, and it is a little bit experimental, and there's some fiddliness to that. I'm a fan so far. I'm excited to see more experimental cuts and more experimental action and movement and backgrounds and style and blending, and I'm excited. This is cool. Okay, I gotta go Sakagaburu. I have to. This is actually getting to the point where it pisses me off a little bit. I know I talked about it in Free Run, but people really upload too many fucking cuts to Sakagaburu. I get it. There's lots of stuff, but you actually don't need to upload the entire episode to Sakagaburu. Seriously. Let's go order score. Yep. And that's the cut that I actually want. And we'll grab the top 5 or 10 or so all the way through. And that should be good. Yoshihide Ideue. Reminds me of that one cut from Rage of Bahamut. I don't think BG matching is going well. Maybe Shota Goshizona with 3D used layout like Osama Rankings? Yeah. That's my thought. Is this where it falls apart? Yeah. I don't think 3D background matching is going... What the fuck is that person talking about? Like, actually, what are they talking about? Maybe the most impressive thing in the episode all the way through is 3D background matching. I don't think BG matching is going... The fuck? What are you talking about? Did you see season 1? Yeah. Okay. What does that cut remind me of? It reminds me of... It's Shida. If I know this off the top of my head, I'm gonna freak out. Holy shit. It's absolutely nothing like it. That was the cut. Alright, that was the cut that I was thinking of, was Naoto Shida from one of the Precure movies, and it's nothing at all like what I thought it was. Okay, my bad. Ideue. Totally new name to me. Koki Fujimoto. Bouncing ball, and then the big whoosh kapow. We saw some Fujimoto in Jujutsu Kaisen Season 1 as well. So the black flash sequences... Mahito versus Sukuna. This is Watanabe and... It's for that end portion. Clack, 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 boom. Okay. Oh, the OG running. Okay. Cool. Hokuto Sakiyama. Looks kind of odd, in my opinion. They put some blur on the art and it doesn't quite work. It is weird. The motion blur is strange. It's definitely strange. And then here as well. It's definitely strange. I don't know that I like it, but it's cool. And our opening shots. wild. Soul Miyazaki for this weird walking cut. Super strong animation. So Chad. Then our basketball sequence. It's just pure fun. Junpei Tatenaka. Dida-sang for this cut. A whole bunch of this stuff. Interesting. This is genuinely so cool to me. They managed to make animated footage look genuinely aged. Yeah, I thought so too. I think that the interpolation or like interlacing effect is amazing. Oh yeah, this hyper slow-mo. And big sweeping CG background stuff. I hate the 3D background. It's so annoying and hurt my eyes. Yeah, it looks amazing. Also reminds me of the Kizu movies. Yeah, it does. It does remind me of some Monogatari stuff. Actually, a lot of stuff reminds me of some Monogatari stuff. The sense of lighting, of even the way that we're sort of telling the narrative while things are going on screen is a very Monogatari thing to do. Like, stuff is happening that's visually interesting and maybe emblematic or thematic, but your brain doesn't really put it together. And then characters are explaining their point of view or the situation in the background with dialogue. That's an interesting way to frame it, I think. So the Da-sang guy does a lot of interesting, goofy stuff. Akafumi Mitani. What an interesting shot. Again, kind of cone-like, with these semi-realistic humanoids. What a weird episode. I'm a fan, I gotta say. I enjoyed that a lot. There's a lot that stands out as unique or novel or interesting. Am I sold 100%? I don't think so, but I'm here for the next one. So let's go ahead and watch episode 2 and see if we have a bit of a different experience because of the, like, we don't have to do quite as much exposition or as much scene setting as we do in episode 1. I'm going to take a quick break and be back in just a sec to jump into episode 2 of season 2 of Jujutsu. See you in a sec. Peace. Alright, welcome back, and shout out to the 2 crew, Season 2, Episode 2. Let's get to it. They're making tea. I've got tea right here. Oh yeah. Beep beep timer for Episode 2. Well, that's lovely. Ugh. Oh. Oh, there's some horror going on right now. Man, he really likes the fucking horrible murders. Too late. Yeah, he's fucked. He's fucked. Hi, yes, Bayer is dead? Oh. Oops. Maybe we made a mistake. The strongest combatant leaves. Organization falls apart. Yeah. What are we doing? Oh shit, that's Dad. He's betting on boat races. Who's that voice? She's an Utena. So he's using the Q people. I didn't notice which one he bet on. Oh, not the winner. Okay. Oh. Weird response. Oh. Damn. That's not a legitimate forget. That was like an acting, just being a cold motherfucker forget. Right? Alright. The movement and running is glorious. Go in different directions. I think Mei Mei is top tier. Clap, clap in unison all together. Split straight down the middle. I didn't notice that before. Okay, the betting. So we're supposed to erase her, huh? I wonder if that'll be the sticking point. I would have trouble. Huh. Yeri's the only one who can at present? What are you, Hinata? What is this? Hiya. I am your Prince Charming. What's up? That's about right. You seem worse. Yeah. Ah. Ugh. Who? Oh. Oh. A scooter. Oh, it likes her. Ooh, maybe don't get too close. Ugh. Not Commoner's Way. Does she have a Kansai dialect? Wait, actually, already? Okay, so she's fully aware and into it. This isn't like we have to kill her or whatever. Just completely ignored. Ouch. Ouch. Let her go to school? Oh. Uh-oh. I wonder what that's gonna lead to. Man, Gojo's really a stick in the mud. Yeah, it is a full seeding of self. Okay. And Geto has a soft touch to it. Whereas Gojo doesn't seem to care. Damn, what the fuck changed with... Speaking of which, something unusual. Oh. Not by him. What's with boats, man? Why boats? Oh, that's a cool eye catch. Not very catchy. So, big bounty out. Hmm. Gaki, fucking brat's gonna brat. What is with the boats? What are we doing here? Aw. Oh. So he set his entire bounty, and he posted a bounty instead of going after it himself. So he's using the bounty to draw a bunch of... I don't know what the 6 eyes is. He did say nobody. He doesn't like admitting when he's not capable. Eliminates a lot of your competition. And eliminate themselves. Oisho. One of you just fucked up. Don't. All he had to do was look. I hope that's all he did. So it's a useless bounty. Man, he gives no fucks. Yeah. And he's gone. That is bad juju. Leaving your chopsticks sticking straight up. It's an old boy. Oh, you're fucked, man. It could be. Oh, you've figured out a bunch. Mm-hmm. This is cool. Unless you just think that you can think what he's thinking. And instead, he thinks he knows what you think that you're thinking that he's thinking. Okay. Rush him. Too slow. Did we win? No! He's smart. Huh? 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 Is that his dog? Yep. What the fuck? Yeah, dogs are great, bro. Pupper. Hey, wait a second. Oh! That's all that was? Hmm. He wasn't wearing the Q uniform. Alright, switch to Gojo's side. Oof. Okay, where girl? Girl safe? I hope that we fight in the chapel. Terrifying. Oh, he's cute! Oh my god! Oh shit, uh-oh. Oh no. Uh-oh. Ah, yes. The border too! Ah! Oh, he just loves it. Amazing. Ah! Yeah! Here's my number. Call me later. I was joking! I was joking! Yeah, yeah! Hey, you gotta take your opportunities when you can. Nope. And we've snuck away. Wait. Yoink. Ridiculous. He's so strong and dreamy. What are we looking through? We looking through a toilet paper? What the fuck? Oh, shit. It's pretty weird. He looks like a poorly drawn character in a poorly drawn hentai manga. Too slow? No, you. Oh, wow. Okay. Thanks. I love a maid who fights with a mop. That's fun. Ooh. He's a goop. So that's why the mask. Ooh, there are a bunch of them. That's rad. So are we finally gonna show some Gojo stuff? It's like a clone technique or something. Hey, she's cute. Don't you say nothing. Is he just yoinking them? Gojo. Gojo. Is he just gonna hold her up? Oh. It's ridiculous. Oh, yeah! Yeah, Zeno's Paradox! They don't teach that in school. Motherfucker, nobody teaches that shit in school. Except in calculus. Maybe in calculus. Ooh. That is OP. But what if I hit all 5? How good? Oh, yeah, calculus. Yeah. Yep. Ridiculous. Oh, so we use all those little smidgens. Or minus pull into that place. Oh, he did that. I didn't realize. Smart, just to run. That's the best move, man. Fuck this shit. I'm out. Alright, what are you about to do? You about to tunnel your way forward through reality? What? What did he just do? Did he just create negative space between them? And then split? Ah, that's bad. He's so enamored of power. What? Oh my god, he hasn't even figured out his technique yet. Oh my god, the light from the... How? Geto was right... How? This is like second act tension. The ED. They just need to be sitting on swing sets and listening to sad music. Beta fish can't live together. Each of them is watching the black or the white beta fish, opposite of themselves. White hair, black hair. But beta fish can't live together. They'll kill each other. So there's an inevitability. And then they fade away. Me too. That's silly. This is fun. This is a much more toned down episode. There's actually a lot less experimental stuff in this one, I would say, which is interesting. It makes it very followable, but also less crazy or exciting. And I think that works. I think it works. Well, it works in a couple of ways, and then there are a couple of things that are experimental and kind of fun. I'm very curious about this lad. But more than anything, I need to know his voice actor. I need to, because... Okay. How do I find his name without spoiling myself? Megumi Fushiguro Dad. Toji. Got it. Toji Fushiguro, my anime list. Takehito Koyasu. Who are you? Who are you, motherfucker? Oh, he's Dio. Oh, that'll do it. Yeah, that'll do it. The moment I heard his voice, I was like, I know that guy. Who the fuck is that? Who's that? Oh my god. I don't think you can find... I don't think there's a human being on this planet who's got more, like, latent contempt in the... Like, he doesn't even have the care to sort of finish some of the words. Hito! Oh, I could just listen to him blather all fucking day. I really could. So a lot of this episode is setting up his... from behind the scenes plans and his kind of mode of attack, which I think works really well. It kind of mirrors the setup that we had in season 1 of like, ooh, there's a big thing coming and it's not here yet. But in this case, what we're witnessing is him setting up all the stage and pieces for his own big moves, whatever those will be in the future, from his own perspective. And it's sort of muddled. It's like unclear what he's going for. It's also unclear whether he's really in control. And the racing sequence, I think, is what gives us that weird feeling. He's going to these races and putting down all these bets with all this great confidence, but he's neither using his abilities to manipulate the races to turn out the way that he wants, nor is he capable of really effectively betting on these things. He's not good at this. So it's really unclear whether we should be putting any sort of faith or respect on this boy's name. Clearly he's dangerous and a little bit scary and has planned things out, but why go and bet all this money in all these weird ways? It's unclear. He does have a plan to wear them down, just like this race. I'll win it all back, just like this race. But it's like a gambler's fallacy. It's like he dives in again and again and again, gambling and gambling and gambling. Which then leads me to wonder about this is a character that's failed a bunch, right? Because he's outcast from the Zenin clan and from all sorts of things, and planning to use Megumi as his trump card later on in our story, to bring himself back. And that's another, like, endgame Hail Mary kind of a bet, isn't it? It seems to be what this guy sort of ventures toward or gravitates toward, are these weird, risky maneuvers instead of having anything coherent as a plan. I'm very curious about it. It makes him dangerous but unpredictable. And also, like, the kind of person who might put all their cards or all their chips on put all their chips on black when they have no chance of winning. And that's weird and interesting. It's a curious character. This moment where he really struggles, or seems to, or acts it out, unclear, really struggles to remember who Fushiguro, who Megumi is. It's very interesting. Who is that again? And he's ripped to shit. Just put it out there. Boy looks like he's in constant pain from his muscles pulling too hard against his bones. I still really don't have much of a feeling about the OP. Which is quite different from the season 1, where I really did have a feeling about it. It's fine. It's cute. I'm curious about a lot of aspects of it. But I don't know what the fuck we're looking at, mostly. There's a strong emphasis on these two, their relationship, and lots of smiling and grinning. The smiling and grinning actually reminds me of something from Togashi that I just want to point out. Almost always Togashi on, like, covers and stuff, big smile on the main character's face and something inviting you into the story. Like, look at any of the promo art for Hunter x Hunter. It's like, Togashi figured that out. It really vibes into you. It makes you want to understand these characters. It makes you want to live in their world because they're having fun. It also works in real life. If you go through your real life with a big smile, people are going to assume that you've got some good stuff going on, and they're going to try to get closer to you. Little quick trick. Look like you're happy, and people will think you're happy. But in this case, these two, they just feel so genuine and wholesome. It makes me doubly curious as to what the fuck went wrong, but also it makes me want to vibe with these characters and live in that space where this friendship kind of feels like it could be everlasting and beautiful and potent and stuff. But we know that it will slip through the gaps in our fingers, as the song says. Interesting. Shoko is the only one who can use cursed reversal of cursed techniques, which is really interesting because that's become a fairly proliferated thing that a lot of people can do, and certainly something that Gojo can do. So that's really interesting. Awake! Alive! Kasmack! And she's cute as hell. I don't know. She's cute as hell. I really like her. And she immediately clocks Geto as having the face of a liar, and so we twist her to death? Okay, doesn't matter. We get goofy with it and introduce the character, and she's not at all what I expected. She's down, not only willing, but, like, ready to assimilate into Tengen-sama, and their souls will continue to live on, I guess. What is her accent? It's a distinct accent, but I'm not good enough at picking up accents to know what the fuck we're dealing with. So we've been ordered to fulfill all of her demands, basically dote on her because she's going to cease existing. Continue with this Gojo tendency to be like, I guess I'll follow the rules. She's leaving her Seishun behind. And Geto here exhibits empathy as well. Again, the ability to see what someone is experiencing and how they feel, and then point it out in a way that fulfills them, then your family. It's really interesting. So we've got another race watching from afar. Dead or alive, big fucking bounty, time limit on the dark web. Spooky as hell. Cool idea. I like the idea that there is this sort of underground landscape of sorcerers and stuff. Whoa, that's really cool. Just the nature of the fives, like the 5 second or whatever second breaks that I'm going on, hit the exact same portion of the loop on each of these, because these characters are moving, right? It's just that the timing is exactly the same. So the loop just holds. That's so weird. I've never had that happen quite like that. They just hold perfectly and float. I've never seen... Oh, that's so weird. I like it a lot. That's very funny. He's pleased that they didn't go back to Jujutsu, because she's more exposed. So the ones drawn will be reasonable idiots instead of just idiots. I'm still unclear what his entire purpose is. He wants to wear them out, to wear Gojo out, because he's very dangerous and he recognizes that. The 6 eyes and the limitless technique. I don't know what the 6 eyes are. Yet. Maybe they're the orbs? I don't know. His bet is on number 3, right? So it starts pulling ahead and then falls out of the race. I wonder... It seems like he doesn't care what happens in the race. That's the real impression that I get, that he doesn't care how the bounty goes down. He just wants things in motion at present. It's also, in previous scenes where we've had Geto do creepy things, he'll walk out of a scene like this and then we'll very explicitly show lots of murder all over the place. A lot of the people have left here. He goes back and sits down. The people are still here. But when we return, a lot of them are gone, and he's just left his chopsticks sitting up. Which is bad manners, if I recall correctly. Like, very bad murder manners. Let me see. It's done at funerals or as an offering to the dead. A bringing of bad luck. Okay, this is a fun fight. It's all mental. I really like this scene where we sort of jump into his mind palace and are going through and illuminating each of these panels as he comes to a conclusion. But at core, this guy is arrogant because of his greater knowledge. So he believes that he can predict everything that Geto would do. Geto knows that he believes that. And so he gives him the opportunity that he's looking for to get closer, presents himself in a particular way to indicate a particular weakness, which he may or may not have. These panels are very fun. I wonder if they are a direct mirror to the manga. I don't know. And he plays him. He plays him like a fiddle. I thought that this was a technique that Geto was using, but no, he's just beating the ever-loving shit out of him. I kind of like that we get this cute moment of contact here. And then this is just a rehash of versus chef. Cope, seethe, smack, 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 smack. It's very fun. No complaints. And then, yeah, the girls love Gojo. Literally all of them. And then we fight some squaddies. This is a very straightforward episode compared to the last one, I think. Very followable. Very fun. Like, playing with cool visuals and weirdness and silliness and stuff, but by no means over the top impressive or crazy or anything, just crisp, clean storytelling with bits and pieces that are just mysterious to me. I think the visual language in this episode is English. Remember I said in last episode the visual language was not English, was something weird. There was a lot of experiment going on. This episode, the visual language is nowhere near as experimental. Maybe the closest that we get is this hand-to-hand combat sequence here, where we sort of fold our frame into a lot of little moments and locations that are kind of big and dramatic, and then drop into these really small pieces of stuff. And then you kind of lose the plot a little bit during some of the movement. I'm not quite sure exactly what happens here. Or why the camera swings in the way that it does. It doesn't really make sense to me. But then here it makes a lot of sense. She does this cool grab wrap and is wrapped around his arm and uses that to create a momentum into a throw. Boom, wha-bam. And then the spinning around of the camera all makes sense. So it misses some things, or it loses some things, or it gets muddled about a couple of things. But then it becomes really coherent again. And that's maybe the most incoherent or the least coherent that the episode gets. It's very much all together. Except when it's like powers that aren't explained. Like, what the fuck? He teleports forward as far as I can tell. Really uncertain. And then everything is flung up to the sky, up to the ceiling. And he goes for a new cursed technique reversal. Something that we've already expressed that only Ieri can really do effectively. And it fully doesn't work. But the thing that I want to point out and note is that smile that we've had on Gojo from the outset, and I've never really talked about it. Gojo is always enamored. Well, that's not true. I have talked about it once. When he does the technique thing and creates the enormous beam that cuts through from like where Gakuganji is on the staircase all the way through the space, he's got a similar sort of smile. It's almost like he's in awe of his own capacity or of his own power, his own ability. It makes me think like Frankenstein, the Dr. Frankenstein. It makes me think Frankenstein. It makes me think mad scientist or like mad doctor who's not in control of what they unleash, but is like amazed by it and loves it and thinks it's super cool. It's like, and we know that he's experimenting with a technique here. It's just this utter intrigue and like, whoa, look what I can do. And I get the impression that whether it were creating cool flowers or nuking a city, Gojo would have the same impression. And his experience of it wouldn't be about what the effects are, but just, whoa, look at this power that I'm able to manifest. That's super cool. Hell yeah. And that's really scary. Especially in the hands of someone who has expressed a philosophical outlook that is not crystal clear at present, but seems to be very individualist and very anti-authority, anti-responsibility, anti-duty, or like moral frameworks. Very much go by the seat of his pants, go with his own flow sort of an idea, I think. That's really scary. That we are on Gojo's side at present does not mean that what he's doing is not terrifying. I really don't think that he cares much about the life or death of anyone around him. And I really don't think that he cares much about them at all. So, again, I must ask, how did we get such a reversal between who he is now and who he was then, and who Geto was then and who he is now? I don't know. I don't know. And in many ways, that's the core of the mystery of why we're here to watch this piece of the story. We were introduced to this world in the far future where a lot of these things have already come to pass. Where a lot of things have already changed in a way that doesn't seem like it can be undone. But we have no idea how we got there. Not from this starting point. That's fascinating to me. I am going to check this episode on Sakugaburu to see if some people pointed out cuts that I missed, or just didn't think were super amazing or whatnot. So let me see. Artist Unknown and Daniel Kim. Yeah, making a big goop is pretty neat. Oh yeah, swinging two big spinny boys together is pretty neat. Very neat. Very cool. Giant snake worm. Big swinging. Momentum and action. Top tier. Really great. Seethe, cope. Yep. Thwack. I wonder if this is the same guy. Is this the same guy? No, because this is Sung Hoo Park. Oh, it's so different. It's so dramatically different. And then here's that piece of fight. Yep. Dee da 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 sang again with this goofy chibi character animation stuff. I dig it. Kaito Tomioka. Mostly curses moving. No problem with that. These scenes do look really good of the jet ski boat people. They do look really good. Crazy water. But overall, kind of what I would say. I don't think that this episode is mind-boggling in terms of animation or anything like that. Or style or presentation. Episode 1 has a lot of, like, spooky mystery vibes and horror tropes and things woven into it. This episode is much more straightforward, much more in the same visual language as Season 1, for the most part. So that shows that we can really do a range, that we can, when we want to express things effectively, do them solidly without getting too artsy, which is what worried me about Episode 1. I think, with that, even if it means that the overall experience of Episode 2 is maybe lower than Episode 1, it makes me more satisfied and more confident in the series moving forward, or in the season moving forward, that it can demonstrate range, and that it can do solid and simple means a lot, because experimental and crazy doesn't always nail it, especially when you're in a simplistic shonen story. Like, I know, back to simple shonen, right? But I want the story beats to be landed and nailed. And if we emphasize the action and animation and style and weird experiments at the expense of nailing the story beats, that's a no-go for me. I love the experimental shit, but you gotta nail your core. You gotta nail your center, otherwise it's not gonna make any fucking sense. And there are plenty of shows that do that go way too far off into the wild and experimental and don't make any fucking sense because they lose the plot. This makes me think that we're not gonna do that. And that's a good step back in a good direction. Okay, overall takeaway: impressive, fun to watch, maximum enjoyment, like really enjoyable episodes. A good balance of goofy to serious to interesting to curious. Good emotional balance. I do want the stylistic insanity of episode 1. I want more of that. But I also want that ability to nail the beats that we see here in episode 2. I'm pleased with the swath. I'm pleased with the palette that we've got to work with so far. I'm ready to watch this evolve into something novel. Already there have been like 4 interesting techniques. Interlaced video to imitate home video, motion blur fuzz on almost Kaganashi shadowless type characters to create these emotional sequences, and also odd movement. There's some interesting stuff here, folks. We'll have to wait until next time to watch more and see what other treasures and tricks and secrets and tips we uncover as Jujutsu Kaisen Season 2 starts really chugging along, but this seems like a good start to me. Bingo! I'll give it 1 thumb up. Seems like a show that I'm willing to watch. Yay! Has it bowled me over with impressive insanity? No, not quite. Episode 1 more so than Episode 2. But there's still a lot of exciting spice sprinkled all throughout this pair of episodes. So, all I can say is, I'm excited to watch this piece of story develop, and to continue watching Shota Gojo head up an anime. What an interesting thing to experience. Thanks so much for joining me for this week's episodes of Jujutsu Kaisen. I'll see you next week for episode 3 and onward, and we'll see where we go from here. Much love. Peace.